From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We begin tonight with politics and money. The comedian Will Rogers once said, politics has got so expensive it takes a lot of money to even get beat. And that was in 1931. Now it is really big money, which is why any proposal to change the way politicians get money to run for election causes so many waves. The president made such a proposal today. The long-sitting Democrats in Congress cried foul. Here's ABC's Britt Hume.
The president announced his plan as an attempt to end what he considers the corrupting influence of political action committees, PACs, and to reinvigorate the political parties.
And today's special interest political action committees and their $160 million war chest overshadow the great parties of Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln.
But Democrats were already calling the Bush proposal, drafted in consultation with the Republican National Committee, a partisan scheme. It is an effort to make re-election harder for incumbents. In Congress, that means Democrats. It would eliminate most political action committees by banning sponsorship of them by corporations, unions, and trade associations, who now run about 90% of all PACs. PACs give heavily to incumbent candidates. It would more than double the amount the political parties can give to candidates. It would forbid keeping leftover campaign money for use in future elections. Such funds would have to be given back or turned over to state parties. It would ban the use of Congress's free mail service, the so-called franking privilege, for unsolicited mass mailings to voters. Such mailings are considered a major help to incumbents. It would try to prohibit so-called gerrymandering, the deliberate drawing of congressional district boundaries by state legislatures to help the party in power. It would insist instead on districts based on what are called community boundaries. Finally, the president rejected public financing of federal elections, an idea favored by many Democrats.
It would force taxpayers to support extremist candidates they abhor. It would be a siphon from the U.S. Treasury, already in deficit, to campaign coffers.
The president also said he would work with Congress on a pay raise for members. That would come later, though. For now, the president is in the position of selling the incumbents in Congress on a plan to take away the advantages of being incumbents. Britt Hume, ABC News, the White House.
In order to understand why campaign reform will encounter such stiff opposition, you've only to keep two numbers in mind. Last year, 408 members of the House ran for re-election. 6 were defeated. And just being there, being an incumbent, certainly has its rewards, which Democrats, for the most part, have enjoyed, which Republicans would like to usurp. Here's ABC's Cokie Roberts.
It's been 35 years since the Republican House swept in on Dwight Eisenhower's coattails was swept out by the voters, and not one Republican currently in the House has ever served in the majority, in part because the same people keep getting reelected.
The president understands clearly the degree to which 99% reelection of incumbents is a danger to the whole process.
That's especially galling to Republicans, since most of those incumbents are Democrats. But Democrats contend that the president's campaign finance plan not only helps challengers, it helps Republicans.
They want to take away a Democratic advantage and increase a Republican advantage. It is a very partisan package.
For example, banning most PAC contributions hurts Democrats. In the last election, PACs gave more than $82 million to incumbents, mostly Democrats, and only $9 million to challengers. But if challengers win, the same PACs that oppose them turn around and support them. And doubling political party contributions helps Republicans. In 1988, the Republican Party had about $45 million to spend, the Democrats $18 million. Democrats want to limit the total amount spent in congressional races. Democrats aren't likely to commit political suicide by approving the Bush campaign plan, but the president has given reform a push, and Congress might act on some sort of package before they hit the trail again. Cokie Roberts, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
We have one final note from Capitol Hill, literally. The former Speaker of the House, Jim Wright, left Capitol Hill for the last time as a congressman today, on his way home to Texas. Wright was forced to resign after an investigation of his ethics. In a moment, the Supreme Court delays its decision on abortion. And later in the broadcast, the attitudes that make teenage pregnancy less of a problem in Europe than in the United States. All over the country today, countless people were waiting for the Supreme Court to issue its ruling on abortion. They're going to have to wait a little longer. the court has postponed at least until Monday, ruling on an abortion case from Missouri, a case which could be used to significantly alter the status of abortion in the country as a whole. Here's ABC's law correspondent, Tim O'Brien.
You could see the anticipation outside the Supreme Court this morning, and inside you could feel it in the crowded press room where the decisions are handed out. As the justices announce each decision in open court, a call goes out to the clerk's office, and from there, another call to the press room. Release the decision.
Thank you. 87-16-22, Kathy. Brendale!
It's the Brendale decision, land rights for the Yakima Indians, not the long-awaited abortion ruling.
See you guys Monday.
There was disappointment mixed with a dash of relief.
I just think they want to get the decision and get out of town. I mean, if I was a Supreme Court justice, I would throw the decision off the airplane as I was leaving the country.
I'm Molly Yard, president of the National Organization for Women, down here with all of you with the Chinese water torture.
The court did not publicly explain what's holding up the ruling, but sources tell ABC News that Justice Harry Blackmun is writing a bitter opinion, that he's asked the Chief Justice for more time until Monday to complete it. That is significant because Blackmun is the author of Roe v. Wade and is the court's main defender of abortion rights. The opinion that has so distressed Blackmun and other members of the court is said to have been written by Justice Sandra O'Connor, a frequent critic of Roe v. Wade, but again, she has never revealed any inclination to have it overruled. It's widely believed the court has declined the administration's invitation to overrule Roe and that abortions will remain legal in every state. But to what extent may states regulate the procedure? That's the key in this most controversial case. The court's language and rationale will be crucial, and what this 11th hour struggle we're